I'm currently kneeling, kind of sitting in front of my bookshelf. I just recorded the video for TikTok where it comes to my February TBR, and the first prompt I picked, I didn't sort them back yet, is a book title which consists of 3 words, and for that, which is low-key my return to horror after a while, and that is Together We Rot. That is a book I got for Christmas last year, so also it's a thinner book. I didn't want to start with something really thick because, to be honest, even though if I had a book, which I possibly possess, I do not know how wild February is going to be. My bookshop also has an event. The other things I chose are 2 mangas because I had basically 2 free cards, manga book of choice, and the other one was a free choice card. So I chose those 2. One is Pink Jam, the first volume, which is an arc. Well, in German you say Lesexemplar, which I had requested, and I wanted to read it now for a while, and why not choose February for that? The next thing is My Roommate is a Cat, the 9th volume, which I have on my shelf for a little bit, so might be time to read it. So that is the update for February. We'll see. Most likely I'm just going to stick with a reading vlog, and yeah. So see you around. Hello, it's the 1st of February. I finished The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and yeah, it's not the most pleasant angle, I must be honest, but I'm currently keeping my legs against the wall because I've been walking all day. What I'm gonna do is start reading Skylar Arndt's book, and then I'm just gonna sleep because I've been just working. I'm gonna say goodnight, and I see you next time. Work, but I didn't record it because at the same time I was talking to my colleague. I got only a little further into the story because mostly I was just talking to my friends slash colleagues at work. So yeah, especially because we are playing D&D tomorrow, so I don't know how much reading I get done tomorrow. So hi, a tiny update in between. I did read just a tiny bit more, but not like a lot. I've been busy lately, despite working, obviously. Wait, if I lean back, you can see that I'm prepping. So those are going to be horns for the D&D's campaign I am part of. And that here is part of a costume for what we call flushing, which is like, it is not necessarily a carnival, but I guess it gets translated to that. And just doing a small thing, this is going to be like those old library stamp cards, and I think of maybe doing my makeup work like kind of overdue here on my cheeks, but we'll see. That is actually all I have to say, because I don't know if I'm going to read today or not, because I know that I'm getting home after work and I can sleep actually in a little bit because I have a very late shift tomorrow. I have the event shift tomorrow. That is the one which goes to 11 p.m. because we have an offer over. I might sleep in, I don't know. Maybe I just take the time to to finish my little costume over there. Or maybe I do it tonight, I don't know. Maybe I take a nap, I don't know. I don't know what my plan exactly is for tomorrow. But yeah. also good night at the same point. It is Persimmon night. I got from work thanks to my colleague who also played the keyboard. And we went, there was a tidbit where we all sang together. That was a little bit of a surprise by the author, because the subject was about psychology a little bit, also about emotions and being okay with coming in touch with your emotions. So yeah, it was fantastic. It was the first time I was to like a book event working where we talked about a book which is not a fantasy book. Or not at least a fictional book. I also got it signed. Wait, you go. It's signed. That is one of the perks of being a bookseller, especially if your bookshop offers to do book events, like where you actually book authors to come over. It was great. It was really fantastic. We had over 100 people over, which is one of the largest crowds, more on the larger side of crowds we had. It was kind of also eye-opening, especially when you consider what people are talking about, and sometimes you just sit there and it's, or in my case, you stand there and be like, damn, it makes so much sense. So yeah, it was incredible. Anyways, I'm going to sleep now because I'm getting cold and tired, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow. So good night. Pretty late. However, I got another arc today, and I haven't opened it at work, to be honest, and therefore I don't know which one it is, because I requested a couple. It's a little bit on the larger side. Ooh. It is Bright by Hazelwood. It has the, oh my gosh, they really got me with one with sprayed edges. So that is the German translation, by the way, of the same book. But like, look at it. She's so stunning. For a couple of weeks now, well, let's say for a little while, I wanted to set my foot into romance. What better way would it be if not in combination of fantasy? So I never really read anything by Hazelwood, but I heard that her writing style is sort of humorous, like it's a little bit funny at points. Anyways, looking forward to it. My fingers now hurting from trying to wrap this up. Those are plans. I hope they dry, because I want to use them for my horns. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna write now or not, depends. Or if I'm gonna watch that film with my friend. I don't know what I'm currently gonna do. It's just, I did a lot. Like, that thing is now drying in hopes that I can put it on my horns for the D&D campaign. I kind of hoped to still clean up my books, but I'm still not motivated. I don't know, I did a lot today, but at the same time I still feel like I didn't do a lot. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's so weird. Hello. So today is not going to be the most adventurous day. I'm currently fixing my little thing, which was like the costume. The washi tape is coming off again, and I don't have the big translucent type. I only have like to make do with the small ones. I am just trying to clean up my room because it's a desperate need. I should start packing for Berlin because on Monday my best friend and I are traveling with the train to Berlin, and yeah, we are going to stay there for a week. And yeah, I try to record some impressions, but I most likely won't comment on it, anything, because I just want to relax, take in the city, because I have not been to Berlin since many years now. I haven't. It is actually a place which is not too far off of the place I was born. Well, I am from Eastern Germany after all, so however my hometown is closer to Potsdam instead of Berlin. So yeah, after that week in Berlin, I'm going to be back at work for many months until I am over in Frankfurt. That is also possibly one of the reasons why I won't be really vlogging around May to July for the time, because I'm going to attend school, looking at a questionnaire which is like a sample of what the test is going to look like. Well, because hypothetically I have an exam at the end of February, or 27th if I'm not mistaken, and yeah, I don't know how to feel about it. I really don't, but we'll see. The thing is, usually you should have like this exam, which hypothetically doesn't count into your degree. It's just a form of proving to see what you've learned after you had school. Yeah, no. Anyways, as you can see, it doesn't work like that, scheduling wise. So yeah, it is what it is, and I'll have to deal with that. But before I'm going away, I think it looks good. I still need some signatures from some of my co-workers, but yeah, that is mine. I just wrote it in bold things because the pen was running out of ink. You can still see it at some point, so yeah. I plan on hanging it up on the wall, maybe there above my TV, or I don't know, maybe in the corner. So I finished Together We Rot by Skylar Arndt, and the book is really good. It is good. It's hitting right the kind of taste I have in books, and it's such a nice combination of horror, but it's not the horror which freaks you out, if this makes sense. It's not psychological horror. It is about a cult in a town, and friends trying to save someone from being basically, well, going to be the next victim of that cult. it has super fun dynamics, friendships, people who hated each other becoming friends. It's super, super amazing. What I want to do, and that is possibly something I will do tomorrow, not tonight, is underneath the dust jacket I want to draw a moth on the hardcover at the front. I have 2 manga volumes which I still have to read for this month, and then yeah, we'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna start right away with one of the manga or if I'm going to... I still don't know, because I know the manga won't take long to be read. What I will pick for the rest of the month, because again, next week I'm not going to be here. But I want to read something else as well, but I don't know if I'm just gonna pick another volume as an extra thing, or if I'm just gonna say no for the rest of the month. I'm just gonna not read something else. I'm also thinking about reading Wolf Willow Witch, which is a novella by Freida's Moon. That is the second part of the series. I read Hard Hound Havoc last year and it was pretty great. I read it on a train as an ebook. I now have a physical copy too. So yeah, I might reread this at some point and mark the stuff which I marked also on the ebook edition, and then continue with Wolf Willow Witch, because it, I mean, of course, both are like single standing books, but they kind of still bleed together because the characters know each other. I think in 2 weeks I'm going to pick the stuff for March, and I don't know what it is going to be yet. I try not to overdo it. Depending on what I pick, it's just going to be a max of 2 things, or maybe 3 if I really feel like, yeah, there's not lots going to happen. I already say goodnight. See ya next time. So tomorrow is the day we travel to Berlin, and I'm still not sure which reader I'm taking with me, my Tolino or my Kindle, which is further down, and I'm most likely going to pick a physical book, but I have some books started. It's a final round, so the book which I picked for Berlin is the first book for all the Raven Boy series. After not being satisfied with Name of Wheel, Wheel of Names, sorry, I went on Instagram, did a tiny poll and just left it for 3 hours, and most said the Raven Boys, and I said, okay, fine, I take it with me. Don't know if I get to read it, but at least I have it with me. Now what I'm doing is deciding which of my e-readers I'm going to take with me. One is the Tolino, the other one is the Kindle, and yeah, I have books on both, which are also arcs, and I would need to read them at some point, because I kind of want to leave some reviews, should leave reviews, because sorry. One is I am in a little program called Lieblingsbuchhändler Italia. I am on my Tolino, so I might take that one with me. I mean, in worst case, I can still read Kindle books on my phone because I have a Kindle app there. No, I leave my laptop here, so yeah, let's go with that. So we made it home a while ago. I already ate dinner and kind of started unpacking, but gonna do the rest tomorrow. Yeah, I started to tap, well, with chapters, at least, of the Dream Thieves. I think this is the second book of the Raven Boys series, if I remember correctly. What I'm gonna do later is continue reading The Orange and other poems by Wendy Cope, and maybe tomorrow I finally read Pink Jam because I only take tomorrow to read it. What I'm going to do now is update my book journal because I finished the first book while I was in Berlin, as you might have seen. Simply because our internet connection in the B&B was pretty whack. It was not good. So yeah, and you could say I really changed my offline or like my online time with offline time, and in that I just read most of the time. So yeah. So I just finished The Orange and Other Poems by Wendy Cope, and well, I already put the book into my shelf for poetries, and I'm tired, so I try to, well, I'm a little tired, and I try to summarize really shortly. It is a poetry collection after all, and it has a lot of different things, but a lot of them is, like, a lot of the poems are about love, and that in various shapes and form. So yeah, I found a few favorites with my first time reading, but maybe in future times when I read it again, I might find other favorites in this short, really, it's a really short collection. Just now, I'm too tired to really analyze much more than what I've done. So yeah, I'm gonna say goodnight and I'll see you tomorrow. Hi, as I already commented my thumbs hurt a little bit, but not from hammering. I also have pin needles in a Waltz, as you might have seen for the postcards, and that hurts as fuck because this wall is sturdy as fuck. And yeah, so I feel really it's nice. I am getting more frames hopefully soon or whenever, but I really like what my room is slowly becoming. I don't want it to be too cluttery, so yeah, most of the frames will just be here around the wall of my bed because it's going to be my own little gallery basically. So yeah, but it feels nice. My plans for today are basically just reading, taking a shower. First of all, this is something I need to do because I smell and I don't like to be smelly. I really don't. Then possibly read some more, and then later on my friends and I have a cocktail evening for this month. We're just gonna do some catch up at some point. It is nice to be back, let's say it like that. The week in Berlin was great, but I like being home. I like traveling, but I also like being home. And now that my room is getting more cozy now, because I finally found a way to get stuff up in the way I want it, I'm happy. It's nice. I really like it. I do. Well, hello. I stopped reading now because my brain is getting fatigued. It's like, not that I want to stop reading, I really want to continue with the book, but my brain is like, yeah, it's having this, I don't know, I've been reading since I woke up, basically. So, not entirely since I woke up, but long enough that I've been just constantly reading. And yeah, my head hurts a little bit from that. It's not like a headache, it's more like a fatigue. So I'm gonna rest my eyes a little, watch some YouTube, or better said, listen to some YouTube until people come. Better said, that friend of my best friend coming over, and yeah, got still an hour, so I still have roughly half an hour until people show up, and I don't know if a nap was a good idea or not. I mean, I'm just sleepy. Yeah, I did a half-hour nap. My eyes feel better, they do, but I don't know if it was the greatest idea or not. For my eyes, yeah. For my brain, I could have continued sleeping, but I would have fucked up my sleep schedule. We don't do that. Background looks much different now. Anyways, this is the final part of this beautiful monthly vlog / reading vlog. I don't know if I recorded enough reading material this time. I'm still trying to figure out how best to combine the monthly things I do and my reading in this one thing, because I don't want to do them separate. It's much more easier for me to just do one video. Anyways, I hope February treated you all well, and I just want to use this last minutes basically to talk a little bit about what I've read this month, and it's crazy. It is 2 volumes in one, so because Goodreads doesn't have a Pearl edition, I had to put them as volume 1 and volume 2, while on Storygraph I could do it as one thing. I read it kind of twice, because I was also like first reading that and then annotating a little bit and was at the side. Maybe we best start off with my TBR for that month and then continue with the things I've read in between. Let's start with a TBR. So first one, this is just for decoration. I just put it in because I thought it looks cute and it fits the book's vibes. First novel of that month or the only novel basically in that month which I had on my TBR, Together We Rot. It is more in the YA direction, which I don't mind because it made it not too shocking. It is horror. I would still categorize it as horror. However, it is kind of mythology isn't the right word, but it's wonderful. That is all I really wanted to say. It's something I could just really eat up. I could read it really quickly because no, I just wanted to read more. It really made me want to read much more of it, and I just love the book. I annotated it a little bit, or better said, I marked up stuff which I like a little bit, yeah. Next thing which I had on my TBR is Pink Heart Jam, which is the last manga I've read this month. It is a BL. It was also a requested arc. I asked the publishers for that, and it was good. I like especially manga which have a bit of music elements to it, and that here is about uni students who also have a uni band, or basically a club activity where they can regroup as bands, learn about how music works together. They also go on a trip. In this first volume, it's going to be a series, but I don't know how many volumes yet. But so far the dynamics is really interesting. It was good. The first manga, and I should have put that before Pink Heart Gem, is My Roommate is a Cat. That is my third pick of that month. And it is volume 9 because it's been resting on my shelf for a while, as I mentioned, possibly in my TBR picks. It is cute. I love how the series continues with this cuteness, with getting an insight not just into somebody who hasn't grown up really with pets, but took in a cat and the cat's perspective. I love that, and how they really get to know each other. And now we come to my final pile of things which I didn't think I would start / read this month. I only took those two things with me to Berlin. I took this from Berlin. I bought it there, and I read that before I went to Berlin. So let's talk a little bit about that. My dear Tolino. Wakey. Okay, it doesn't show the cover, but I'm gonna blend it in. Under the Persimmon Tree, that is an arc from an e-arc from Book Sirens, and I read it on the train, basically to the way to Berlin. I finished it in the hotel still that night, and it's been interesting because it's a short story collection. And while there is a red thread through the entire thing, it took me a while to understand that there is a red thread to it. It has more of a inner monologue dynamic into it, in my opinion, and it's been alright. It's not a bad book. I might actually get it in physical at some point because I want to actually annotate it and take some of the sentences out of it, because there are really beautiful phrases, and just for that I kind of want to have that. So yeah. Okay, not to the manga I've read before going to Berlin. That is Pandora Hearts. Yeah, that's Pandora Hearts. Carlson manga. Okay, so now to the manga I've read before Berlin. That is Pandora Hearts. It's volume 1 and 2 in one new designed outlet, and it was just so nice to get back into the nostalgia of growing up with that manga series, actually, or better said, the anime as well. I really love the music. I continuously listen to the OST while reading this so far, and I might do it for the next volumes whenever they come out. They are coming out, like 2 and 3 of that are coming out sometime this year. One in summer and one around autumn, I think. So yeah, definitely love that. Now to the book I've took with me and I didn't expect to finish still that week. I read it in 3 days. 3 days. And I still don't know how, but maybe it is also caused by shitty internet and the B&B. But you can see I really, really like the book. I like the series so far. I am currently reading the second book, but I'm not as far in. And I might try to reduce my internet access over this month to simply finish also the book. But, like, not the month, it's the February. But to the end of the month that I might finish the second book. Still in February, and yeah but I really loved it. I don't know if you see. Okay, no, you can see. So the green is for the Latin stuff, and the blue is generally just what I really love, things or something which also kind of had this wow moment for me, because there is one scene where Adam and Gansey are throwing things at each other in sentences, and Gansey realized, shit, I went too far. And yeah, now finally reading a series everyone has been talking about or grew up with, and I understand it why. Yeah, I also like how I might make a video just for that, but there's like, that is in my version, page 51, I annotated as Gansey wants it for honor, Adam wants it for a wish. And it is so interesting how both have so much in common but are still so different. And that is also what this kind of annotation portrays for me. But Gansey wants it for honor, for simply the adventurer in him, and Adam wants it for a wish, because he really wants something so far. But throughout the book you realize Adam doesn't really know what he wants, or at least he tries to figure out what he wants. So it's really interesting. And the final thing I've picked up is the Orange and Other Poems by Wendy Cope. I've seen TikTok videos, I think it was last year or 2 years ago. Depends when was a book published. Let me see. Okay, last year, and so around early of that year, because I had to dig a little bit in my own saved things to find it. But yeah, I wanted this book collection for a bit, or better said, poem collection for a bit, and I am not let down. I am not. I have a few favorites which are marked green here. From my first time reading, I know that I will need to take more time to read it, to annotate all the things in it, to understand it maybe a little bit better for myself. It doesn't mean that I understand what Wendy Cope wanted to express with her poems in that way, but maybe what I understand on it, that is the other thing. So yeah, I just wanted to show you. So yeah, and this is not deep this is not a deep analysis. It is just what I do. I write down my thoughts, and yeah, I've never done deep dive analysis in poems because it could destroy it for me. So I just write down my own thoughts and leave it at that. So yeah. Okay, let me turn it around. Here we go. So yeah, that is a big chunk I've read just this month, and I don't know how. And February is not really at the end yet. It's close to the end, but it's not at the end yet. And I still don't know how. I still don't know. But anyways, I hope your February has been good, and that March is also treating you well, because I will see you in March, whenever the monthly log is up there. Otherwise, you will see me around Instagram, TikTok, yada yada. So, yeah, anyways. Bye bye.